I declare the convocation open.
You all may be seated now. The story of Xime is one of sheer determination and persistence. I now humbly request Mr. Anil J. Philip, President of Xime, to deliver the welcome address and introduce our chief guest.
Good morning, everyone. Now, that doesn't sound like a batch that's graduating. Good morning. That's more like it. Sounds like your day when you're graduating. You better remember that whether you had breakfast or not, this should keep you going. Chairman of Xime Chennai, Mr. P.C. Siriak. Whenever we think of Xime Chennai, we especially remember, while he's chairman right now, we remember him because we have Xime Chennai a lot to do with him. His help in getting us this land and starting us off. So he will always be remembered for that. Let me jump a little and I go to the parents because you all are very, very important constituents. Welcome to this very, very special occasion, whether you are here physically or virtually. A big welcome to all of you. Welcome to the officiating director of Xime, Dr. Ravi, the Dean Academic, our other board members, Father Sebastian and Ashok, Mr. Ashok, who have also joined us today. So warm welcome in a way to all of us, because it's a special day when you see as a board of governors, the batch graduating and, successfully and happy and stuff like that. So it's clearly a happy occasion. First years, whoever is in the room, I know the ones, all the girls I can recognize in their pink. 1 year from now, you will be in that place. Just remember, there's just one criteria, 5 CGPA. So don't ever forget that. Now, of course, a hearty welcome to our chief guest, Mr. Sethu Madhavan. He's the Managing Director of Temple Steel India, a subsidiary of Worthington India Incorporated, Temple Steel. What do they manufacture? I did a little bit of reading on the company. They manufacture electrical steel lamination. I found it difficult to understand, so I read a little more. They are an important constitution of any electric motor. Now, what does that mean today? In today's world, when we're talking about EVs, remember that every EV will have an electric motor. So I think if you are planning to invest in the stock market, it's a good company to invest in. They are today, in fact, the largest independent manufacturers of that product. He has been with Temple Steel for over 13 years and held multiple of the senior positions before being appointed as the Managing Director of Temple Steel. In addition to that, he has worked in some of the blue chip companies, Rockwell, GE, Siemens, etc. Let me now come to a bit of a story about Temple Steel and Mr. Sethu Madhavan. Temple Steel was established in India in 2006 in Tamil Nadu. And they were doing exceptionally well. So when you do exceptionally well, what do? You decide, okay, let's expand. Sometimes you may expand without thinking how much expansion you need. And they expanded 3x the capacity, 3 times. And normally if you expand, you think everything will go well. But we may forget that when you expand, your overheads go up, so cost goes up. Revenue, which was enough in the past and doing very well, may not be good enough. Departments may not be aligned like they were before. The moment you become big, there's no confusion coordinating, and so many things. And actually, it came to a point that they were even contemplating shutting the business down. And that is where Mr. Sethu Madhavan comes in. He's the person who really turned around Temple Steel. Now, we do it in case studies, right? We all did it in case study. There is this company, ABC company, having this problem. Then the protagonist has to do it. So here the protagonist is Mr. Sethu Madhavan. And he focused on what we may have heard, or if you remember, if you still remember what you studied, focused on customer, cost, cash, and culture. I'm not going to the in-depths of what he did, but the fact of the matter, he focused on the right 4 C's and took them to great success. And to tell you the story, why I know the story reasonably well, is this was written by none other than your director, Mr. Ravi V. Raghavan. There's a research paper written by Mr. Ravi V. Raghavan, and that's why I was able to understand and therefore. But besides that, I also have learned that Mr. Sethu Madhavan, in our old sales day when I was still young, long time back, we used to tell our bosses, hey, bhag sales ke liye jaake bhag. In English, it means run for your sales. Now, besides running this organization very well, Mr. Sethu Madhavan is a passionate runner, a marathoner. And not does that he run, he ensures everyone in the organization run. And there are incentives also. And the HR man ahead has told me a legendary story. There are people making more money by running in the company than by their salary. But that's how passionate he is about the health and well-being of his employees. Even the food they eat, Everything is taken care of. In addition to that, he's a mountaineer. He's a mountaineer who, has even done Kilimanjaro, which is quite a tough trek. I also heard that you do bungee jumping. I tried it once, and they had to literally push me off because I wasn't jumping. So thank you, Mr. Madhavan, for coming here today and inspiring to give them that lamination of steel so that they will have great careers forward. So thank you very much. Now let me turn my attention to the class of 2024 of Xime Chennai. Welcome to your big day. And let me go through, with some help from a few TV series. I hope you relate to them because they are definitely things that I know in Bangalore and Kochi, they watch a lot. Big Bang Theory, Friends, Peaky Blinders. I hope you all enjoy those. So some of the humor may resonate with you. Okay, so let's rewind exactly 2 years back. Your parents are in the room. This probably was the scene at home. You're leaving the home for the first time, a lot of anxiousness. Will I do well? They are worried, will you do well? Will you pass at the end of 2 years? Etc., etc. Right? That was the scene. And I'm sure parents all were worried. Besides, when they do well in studies, will they found a spouse? Otherwise, I don't think they'll find a spouse for them. So maybe some of you all have found, right? So lot of things can happen in a college. Then you are allotted your room. Right? You're allotted your room and you say, no, I'm from, say, Tamil Nadu. I can't stay with this guy from wherever or this girl from so-and-so. Of course, not as dramatic as Sheldon, as your roommate. But remember, there's a Sheldon in each one of us. There is a kind of Sheldon. So if you can adjust with the Sheldon who was your roommate, what has that done? It has taught you inclusivity, it has taught you tolerance, it has taught you, and therefore you are better prepared for a work environment where you will need all this. Then you start meeting your teachers. Money heist, any money heist fans, right? And the professor is there. And remember your professor. They all may look different. Somebody is short, somebody is tall, somebody is bald. Never mind. Airline, right? You take whatever you have to. You know, we're all different. But in the beginning, we all seem to have a mask. Because we are judging you, we are sizing you up. Will you accept me as a good teacher? But after some time, we reveal our mask and we bring our true self. And we realize that all of us are different. There's one thing, but we still continue to have a common. We have your best interest in mind. So however we appear, once that mask is off, one thing is clear, we have only your interest in mind. But I can promise you, unlike, we won't put you in a situation like what Harvey Specter was put into. So never worry about that if you enjoy suits. But one thing which I do want to add is a salute to the director, the academic dean, other deans, and all the faculty. You have played a very important role in their lives. And actually, I got a lot of feedback when I met both the first year and the second year students, particularly Xime Chennai faculty. This is what they said. Each one of our faculty is always available to us. Each one has their strength and each one helps us in the way they can. And that is one of the biggest strengths of Xime Chennai. So a very big hand to our faculty. And to the faculty, my message, a teacher affects eternity. They can never tell where their influence stops. So remember that, and I think you had a good influence on the youngsters. So thank you for that. The intensity slowly builds up, right? You start having to do your first group presentation and you agree to do something. This is what you will say. Don't say this, just say this. And then suddenly that person goes on stage and talking all rubbish. And everyone's looking at it. That's not what we told you to say. Now we won't get the marks. So you have to go and do some extra study so that you can make up in class participation, right? Like Sheldon does in this case. But this is what really prepares you. The group working, the class presentation, preparing for your case studies, everything prepares you for a better tomorrow. Then there are two distinct groups of friends or groups. One is your core group, which you like to have fun with, you like to hang out with. There's a Joey, there's a Chandler, there's a Monica. Each one is unique, but that's where you have your most fun. Then the other group, you don't get that much of a choice. So somebody else is probably influencing the selection. But even there, you find strength. Because there's a Rio, there's a Tokyo, etc. And each of them come with their strengths. So how you adapt to each of the different groups. Even in your work life, this is going to happen. You're going to have your hangout friends and you're going to have your work friends. Both are important. Both are important for your future and for your network. So ensure you invest, continue to invest in your old groups, but continue to invest in new groups as you go forward. Now this is very common. Either from inside the group or from outside a group, there is a signal drop or the signal gets cut. I don't think I need to say more on this slide. Okay, I'm not even going to risk a show of hands. And then you have prepared yourself. You're getting to end of second year. You're getting to this day. Case studies, simulation, lecture, some boring, some good, some exciting, some fun, etc., etc. Everything is preparing you for today. And then here we are. Almost there, prepared. Looking all smart and dashing. Right? All well dressed. I don't know what's under, right? But all of us well dressed and ready for today. And some of us, once we pick this up, we'll know how well dressed you are. But yes, you are well dressed. But can anything prepare you for the office? If you get a crazy colleague like Dwight, eccentric and crazy, or a manager like Scott, nothing can really prepare you. But I think we've done fairly good in preparing you for this. And finally, I'm sure it has been a journey of transformation, starting with overall confidence, knowledge base, communication skill, including getting rid of that stage fright, leadership and entrepreneurial mindset, more adaptable to people and situations, ability to problem solve and think out of the box, improved worldview of yourself. A bit of a Thomas Shelby, remember? Now, forget the situation, but Thomas is a great leader. Right? Thomas Shelby in Peaky Blinders is a fantastic leader. I don't want you to take that career by any chance, but Thomas Shelby is a great leader. So imbibe some of his characteristics. So look back at your time at Xime and seize the opportunities and accept the challenges. And look to the future with optimism, because of that the world will look with optimism. Remember, you have found a better, stronger, and more confident version of yourself. Let me end with a quote, one of my favorites, by Walt Disney. All your dreams can come true if you have the courage to pursue them. All the very best. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I now request our beloved chairman, Mr. P.C. Syriac, to welcome our chief guest, Mr. K.V. Sedumadhavan, MD, Temple Steel India, with the bouquet. Thank you, sir.
May I now request Dr. Ravi Veeraraghavan, the officiating director of Xime Chennai, to present the annual report.
Very good morning to you. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Syria, Mr. President, Daniel Philip, Chief Guest, Mr. Setu Madhavan, and other dignitaries from the state, Father George, who is my guru. In fact, I'm happy to present this annual report for one reason, because I was the first faculty to be part of Xime Chennai 7 years back. So it gives me double the enjoyment which normally a director gets. The year ended 23-24 is a landmark year for one important reason. We increased the admission from 120 to 150 and achieved it. So let me take this opportunity to brief some of the highlights of the academic year 23-24. Let me start with the orientation program and the start of the batch. The PGDM batch 7, which joined on July 18, 2023, had about 150 people. Again, we had a good diversity, equal number of boys and girls. And I think that the first time we achieved equal number of girls in the campus. And we had the record number of students because we had 150 plus the previous batch. So the first time in the 7 years, we had the entire hostel full. In fact, it could be one of the complaints by many students that we don't have a spare room. So the day, 10th July, started with the inaugural ceremony in a hybrid mode in collaboration with Xime Bangalore. And our founder, respected Professor J. Philip, the guiding star behind us, inaugurated the batch remotely from Bangalore, and several dignitaries were present for this occasion. And from Chennai, we had Mr. A. Viswanathan, President Delphi TVS, as a chief guest. Their valuable insights and inspiration to the incoming students made the day extra special. This was followed by Orientation Week, which was packed with several events for the student, and they would have experienced what Xime will be their first 1 year, on 1 week's time. We have people from 19 different states, including states like Bihar, Rajasthan, Jharkhand, Uttarakhand, and Gujarat. We had a good mix of people with experience and talent. Xime Chennai, as President told, took care of the students individually. Again, each of the students had access to the faculty anytime, including the director and dean. Okay, they can always knock the door and come. That was always followed in that. That's one of the uniqueness of Xime Chennai. Examinations and academic standards. In line with our commitment to academic excellence and quality assurance, Xime Chennai initiated the accreditation process during this year. And we followed this for this year, and also we ensure that the practices that are required for accreditation is carried out forever. So we actually started with the NBA accreditation, and we are expecting that this should be available to us shortly in the next year. And we are also going for EMFD accreditation in the following academic year. Library. We have a good collection of books and e-resources. We have more than 9,000 volumes of books and 13,000 e-books. We subscribe to 22 international journals, 27 national journals, 23 magazines, and we buy newspapers for every student, Business Standard or Economic Times. We also have access to Harvard case studies and Reuters representative screens, which contains the details, corporate details required for any research or preparation for the placement. Guest lectures and leadership talks. Renowned industry experts graced our campus through series of guest lectures and leadership talks. Mr. Venkat Narayanan, President, Group HR from Rane. Mr. Ramakrishnan, Vice President of Intelli Design Arena, School of Design Thinking. Mr. Rajarajan, COO, MGM Healthcare. Mr. Rajesh Raghavan, President, Strategy, Rane Holdings. Mr. R. Venkatraman, Country Head for Singapore for Air India. These are some of the names I can quote. And they gave actually good insights into the industry, and students really benefited by this. Student club activities and achievements. The vibrant student clubs at Xime Chennai harness a plethora of activities ranging from expert lectures to contests and knowledge sharing sessions. With clubs like Pinnacle, the Finance Club, XOps for operations, XZ for social work, X-Marketees for marketing, Rhythm for HR, Expressions for communication skills, and we do have clubs for analytics, social media, and entrepreneurship. Overall, we actually conducted 45 guest lectures through the club so that the students are benefited and get exposed to the industry practices. Our students took part in several external programs and won several prizes. I would like to mention only a few. Xime students emerged as winners in 5 events, including business plan and quiz, held at Sri Ramachandra University, Chennai. Our students secured the second prize for the quiz at MMA, a prestigious event conducted at IIT, Chennai. The talent duo behind the camera, Samson and Vivin, showcased their prowess by securing the first position in reel-making competition. Furthermore, students excelled in business plan and quiz competitions conducted by Amity Business School. Moreover, our students, Neha Jake and Nijasri, received the Best Paper Award at an international conference held at SRM University. Live projects. One of the unique things about Xime Chennai is live projects. In fact, right from day one, again, thanks to Father, when we initiated in the first year, we were not sure whether it will be a successful one. Today, we have almost 80 projects, 80 live projects conducted in the last year. And students go for factory, again, they go and expose themselves to the, again, industry environment, and then they get trained. Almost 80 projects are taken up by the students in and around the factories in Varagadam. In fact, we have around 200 companies around Varagadam, and 80 students go there in the afternoon. For that purpose, we close the classes again by 1 o'clock so that they will be able to go to the plants around this place by 2. Okay, this has been a very successful one. This has led to summer internship and placements also in the past. And this model has been working well. Again, our other campus also trying to follow this. The companies where they work include Hyundai, Royal Enfield, Ovo Betterman, Bharat FIH, Panasonic, then Rani, to name a few. This has helped in a summer internship, so we don't have much problem with the summer internship because we always access to the industry around the Varagadam. So always we are able to get students exposed to industry practices through the summer internships as well. Celebrations and cultural events. The institute's calendar was full of events and celebrations that brought students, teachers, and staff together and made them feel like one. And they feel like as if it is their own hometown. Okay, from traditional celebrations like Diwali, Holi, Onam, and Pongal to national events like Independence Day and Republic Day, the Xime campus emanated unity, diversity, and cultural vibrancy. On the Independence Day and Republic Day, several prestigious awards are given to the deserving students. These include Father Sebastian George Academic Excellence Award, Xime Brand Ambassador Award, Chairman All-Round Performance Award, Professor J. Philip Merit Cum Means Scholarship, President Merit Means Scholarship. This is for the senior batch, and for the junior batch on the Republic Day, scholarships are given, and this include Founder J. Philip Means and Merit Scholarship, which is about 1.5 lakhs for the student, and Chairman Means and Merit Scholarship for 3 students for rupees 75,000. Maria Philip debate. Chennai, Xime Chennai played host to the Maria Philip Future Leaders Debate Competition across Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. This was conducted in 6 locations across Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. 170 participants were actually participating in these competitions, and the regional winners were picked up, and they were contesting in the final rounds at Kochi, and this happened early this month. Prometheus 2023. Xime Chennai conducted our Management and Cultural Fest on the 14th and 15th of September 2023. Around 350 participants from nearly 40 colleges participate in various events conducted at this very same campus. And additionally, 30 students from Xime Kochi also participated in the fest. This is the first time in the last 7 years we had 300 participants participating in a cultural event in Xime Chennai. Thanks to the team which supported this. National Conference. Xime Chennai conducted a national conference on the best practices in management on 26 March 2024. For this conference, we got 68 abstracts and we accepted 45. Out of that, 23 abstracts were shortlisted for oral presentations at the conference. These papers were presented on that day in our 2 technical sessions. All the abstracts received for the conference were published thanks to Mr. Amal, who was actually releasing the ISBN book containing the abstracts on that event. Publications. It's a record number of publications during the year 23-24. We published 74 research articles, both from faculty members and students. It's a record so far. We exceeded all the previous numbers in all respects, and this includes 8 ABCD journal publications and 6 Scopus publications, which is far higher than the earlier year publications, which shows the quality of journal that, again, we are looking for publication, and thanks to the faculties who have contributed and supported the students to publish this. Management development programs. Okay, we are located in an industrial area, so we conduct several programs for companies around us. For Hyundai, actually, we conducted a customized program called Ignite, which covered 300 executives of Hyundai Motors. Xime Chennai also conducted a 6-month leadership program for Delphi TVS, which is named as LEAP. And they actually came here for 6 months to get trained by us. We also conducted young leadership program for Royal Enfield, which covered various areas in management. And we conducted a customized program again for Rane group of companies over 2 batches. And we have also scheduled a leadership development program for SPIC, which is going to start from next week. Besides this, we were also successful in this year to start a certificate course on total quality management. This course is already running. So this is a weekend course, and executives from around Varagadam come and participate in person for this program. Placement. All along, Chennai has been successful in placing all the students. This is the 6th year we are going to achieve that 100%. Right now, we have placed 86% of the students. 13 people are left out. Again, they have companies where they have attended the interviews waiting for the results. So soon we will be able to complete 100% for the current year as well. The highest salary for this year is 14.3 lakhs, and the CTC so far we have achieved is 8.6 lakhs, average CTC. The companies where they have been placed include Infosys, Ernst & Young, KPMG, L&T, Oracle, Federal Bank, SBI, Aditya Birla, Daimler, Hyundai, Alstom, TVS, and Murugappa Group. In spite of challenges in the placement this year, we are still will be able to achieve this 100% goal of 100% placement, which is our goal. And I'm sure that with the pipeline that we have, we will be able to achieve it soon. Lastly, graduating students. In today's convention, the Board of Governors have approved the awarding of PGDM to 101 students of batch 6. Congratulations to everyone. We have also awards for the best outgoing students. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the sponsors for these student awards. Finally, I thank Professor J. Philip, Honorable Principal Founder, Xime, and Academic Advisor, Xime, for guiding us all through. I would like to thank Mr. P.C. Syriac, IAS, our Honorable Chairman, Mr. Anil Philip, President, and Mr. Harish F. Matthew, the Secretary. I would also thank the board members, Father George, for their contribution. And I would like to thank Mr. Muthuraman, who was our former chairman, and Mr. Kuncharia, our former secretary, who actually helped us in building this organization so far. I would like to thank the faculty members and staff for their contribution. I would like to express my gratitude to the Xime alumni also for their valuable contribution. And in fact, they visit very often and coach our students and give valuable insights to the students. Graduation day is finally here. This significant achievement is not just a milestone for the students. It's a momentous occasion for the families and friends who have been their side all through their journey. Graduation is a milestone. It tells you how far you have come. Keep learning, keep trying, keep accomplishing, and keep venturing on through your journey. Congratulations. I would like to conclude my report by wishing the outgoing students all the best in their careers. I'm sure that there's a special bond between the graduating students and the institute. We value and cherish that bond. I'm sure that you will be able to continue to associate with Xime Chennai with the same spirit and enthusiasm. Okay, this is not your last day. This is only a milestone. So you will continue to associate with us for more time. And I'm sure that you will support that. May God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Father Dr. Sebastian George, Director, XLRI Jamshedpur, and former Director, Xime Chennai, to deliver his special address.
Good morning to you all. Our chief guest, Mr. Sethu Madhavan, our chairman, PCC Sriyak, our president, Anil Philip, director of Xime Chennai, and dean academics of Xime Chennai, and board members, faculties, graduating students, and first-year students, and parents. Good morning to you all. Today, let's reflect. It's a big day. Let me congratulate the graduating students. 2 years of tough work, putting up with one another, and also listening to faculty, even you don't like to listen. It was a challenge, and you have successfully fulfilled. So you have every right to celebrate today. As director already pointed out, it is just a milestone. Henceforth, you become one of the important stakeholders as the alumni of Xime. So your continued connection and helping symbiotic relationship is at most essential. Let me just share some of my thoughts. Richard Bach, I'm sure you might have heard about him. His first book was Jonathan Siegel. It was about individual emancipation, and it became instant bestseller. I'm not going to talk about that book. It is his second book. The second book was titled Illusion. Even not that book I am going to talk about it, but that book begins with a parable. Just I am going to talk about that parable. The parable is there was a big river. Under the river, the water creatures were living. Now, how they were living? They were always holding on to a tree or a rock and trying to live their life. One baby water creature asked the other elderly ones, what will happen if I stop holding on to this rock or tree? And the elderly one laughed at him. What a stupid question. If you don't hold on, the current of the river will take you, hit you, and you will die. So hold on to what you are holding on. Then the baby creature, out of curiosity, suppose if I keep on holding on, will I live forever? The elderly one said, what, once again, not a meaningful question. You will grow old and die. So the young one said, you don't know what will happen if I leave. What will happen if I continue to hold on? In both options, I am going to die. At least let me check what happens if I stop holding on to this rock or tree. And it just leaves the rock or the tree, let it go, everything. Then what happens? As the elderly one said, exactly that's what happened. The river current took it. It hit him here and there. But eventually, the water creature reached the surface. And first time it looks at the universe, the world outside, so beautiful, full of trees, flowers, grass, goes out, enjoys the life, and spends very happy. After a few days, it realizes my other water creatures, they are still missing the beautiful existence. So let me go back. Tell them, stop holding on to this rock or tree. Just let it go. Life is totally different. You can experience a real meaning of life or beauty of existence. So the baby creature goes down and looking at him without holding on to anything. And all other creatures were terrified. They said, you are the avatar. You are the Messiah. You have come here to save us. The baby creature says, what nonsense. 1 week back, I was with you. I also was holding on to the tree or rock. All I did was let it go. Now, all you have to do is stop holding on, stop clinging on, be totally free. Then life is entirely different. But other creatures didn't listen. They said, no, no, you are different from us. You are genius. You are God's sent savior. So please save us. And other water creatures started religion in its name, started creating prayers, but never left what they were holding on to. The parable ends there. So what Richard Bach is saying is, we always look for somebody to save us when there is nothing to be saved. All you have to do is, whatever attachment, whatever you are holding on to it, you have to just let go. Take it easy. Life is beautiful. We, is life that is very simple in living, we, because of our attachment, clinging on to the other things, we just miss the beauty and the essence of life and complicate it. That's the reason Eric Fromm, he says in his book, you must read that book also. The other two also you read. One is Jonathan Siegel, second Illusion. Escape from Freedom is Eric Fromm, a psychoanalyst. He says, we are all terrified of freedom. You might be thinking, as a teenager, I want to be free. No, you want to be slave actively, looking for some savior to save, looking for some other event to liberate. When everything is within you, accept you are nothing but freedom and accepting that freedom. But unfortunately, we like to cling on to things. For example, your own MBA degree, or a job, or anything family, or religion, or so many attachments. You hold on to that, then you miss the life. That's the important thing because any attachment becomes a burden. It doesn't liberate. And unless there is a freedom, a real growth as a human being is not possible. So today, I really encourage you to reflect. See, look at what is a fear. Does present moment, does it bring any fear in us? No. When there is a danger, we face it courageously. We take action. Fear always comes from memory, or memory of the past, or memory, created memory of future. Fear doesn't come from present. In present, you live fully. All people are saying is, all spiritual master is, realize that fear is a result of imagination. It is from thought. If you are able to live today, now, face reality as it is, there won't be fear. And when fear is absent, what you experience is the total freedom. And in total freedom, your full potentiality gets actualized. Otherwise, your potentiality remains suppressed, it never becomes reality. So today, as you are graduating, let me wish you that you will be free of all kinds of fear and experience freedom in its fullness and realize your total potentiality. Thank you.
Thank you, Father. And now we have come to the most awaited moment of the day. The Batch 6 students will now receive their prize diplomas, a symbol of accomplishment at this point. May I call upon Professor Suresh Kumar V, Dean Academics, to take over the proceedings.
We have now come to the key event of the convocation, candidates for the 2-year full-time postgraduate diploma in management. The candidates will individually receive the diploma certificate from Honorable Chairman Mr. P.C. Syriac, Xime Chennai, and then return to their places and remain standing. I now request Chairman Mr. P.C. Syriac to present the diploma certificates to the graduating students. I request all those present to reserve their applause till all the diplomas have been presented and to avoid clapping in between. Alisha Agrawal. Abdul Kalam. Cameraman. Cameraman, don't speak. Yes. Abhishek Kumar Singh. Abhishek Mohanchari. Abhirami. Abhishek. Aditya S. Aishwarya Lakshmi S. Aishwarya P. Aksha SR. Albin Anto. Anand Sai. Ananya Datta. Animesh Kumar Mathia. Arun Karti. Ashika Lakshmi Balaji. Banushri M. Basil Sani. Bharat H. Bavitra. Chaitanya Dahikar. Daniel Isaac. The Bernard Dawn. Deblina Pal. Devi Sripalla. Dhananjay Prakash Hole. Divya Shankaran. Faris Ahmed. Garaga Gangadhar Gautam. Guru Prasad, Harihara Sudan, Harni M, Harshit Bharadwaj, Himanshi Singh, Himanshu Kumar, Janapriya A, Jasmine Mary Eka, Janet Fernandez, Jessel Johnson, Joyce Evangeline, Kirtana R, Krishna Mohan Pandey, Meenam Mausam, Mohan C, Nandita Verma, Naresh V, Neeraj Leben Peter, yeah, yeah, yes, sir. Neeraj Leben Peter, yes. Neha Singh, Nitin Kuruvilla, Nityashri, Nitinjay Kumar Gupta, Paras Kaushik. Pavan Kumar. Pradeep S. Pragadish Karan. Ragul N. Rahul Bharadwaj. Ram Krishna Raju. Ranjit R. Rohit Kakularam. Roshan Kritik. Satya Prakash Sahu. Saumya Neelu Jain. Shaina Epil Bengraj. Sharini V. Shivam Yadav. Shreya. Shubham Yadav. Snehasis Mohanty. Soma Biswas. Shravan P.A. Sriram R. Shubham Arya. Supriya Tripathi. Surabhi Pal. Surender M. Surya M. Swayam Verma. Talluri Venkata Sivasai Supriya. Tanusriya Guha. Thiruvikraman. Vedansh Parekh. Vidisha Mishra. Thakur Vihang Purushottam. Vineet Kumar. Vishwas. Yashika Gandhi. Zidan Musa. Prakash Raj. Tanya Singh. That was the last student to receive the diploma. Now the audience may applaud. Mr. Chairman, upon the recommendation of the faculty, I have the honor to present Ms. Alisha Agarwal and 18 others in person and 11 in absentia from batch 6 who have successfully completed the prescribed course of studies and fulfilled all the requirements of the PGDM 2-year full-time course at Xime Chennai. I request Chairman Mr. P.C. Syriac to confer on behalf of the Board of Governors of Xime Chennai the postgraduate diploma in management on these candidates.
By the authority vested in me as the chairman of the Board of Governors, I award you the postgraduate diploma in management, and I charge that by thought, word, and deed, Manasa Vacha Karmana, you prove yourself worthy of the award. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The new graduates may resume their seats.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Professor Suresh Kumar B, Dean Academics, to announce the Excellence Awards.
I request the chief guest, Mr. K.V. Sethumadhan, MD Temple in India, to kindly present the awards for excellence. The following students of the PGDM program, please come forward one at a time and receive the award for excellence from the chief guest. The recipients are requested to remain on the dais to facilitate taking a photograph after the presentation. These awards have been selected based on all-round criteria. Some of them are academic achievement oriented and the others are non-academic achievement oriented. the kind of participation the students have taken place, and the contribution they made inside the institution and contribution outside the institution by participating in various events. And also them taking part in SIP, SUPA, placement activities, admission activities, research papers, and all other institution building activities. So a team of faculty members were involved, the committee was formed, and for each of these awards we had to select the best person. The first one, the chairman roll of honor for the first highest CGPA and PGDM program of rupees 20,000 goes to Ashika Lakshmi Balaji. Best outgoing finance student award of rupees 10,000 sponsored by NMAX system goes to Soumya Neelu Jain. Outgoing HR student award sponsored by Atma HR Forum of rupees 10,000 goes to Akshay SR. Best outgoing operation student award of rupees 10,000 in memory of the late Professor N.K. John goes to Aishwarya Lakshmi S. Best outgoing general management student award sponsored by Temple Steel India of rupees 10,000 goes to Ronit Kumar. The Innovation Award for Best Summer Internship Project sponsored by our first batch alumnus and gold medalist, Mr. Dinesh Konidala, owner of Hotel Skanda Palaces, of rupees 10,000 goes to Vidisha Mishra. Alphonsus Matias Award of Rupees 10,000 for humanitarian spirit and services rendered goes to Shobha Biswa. The most awaited award. The criteria for the selection of this award included a CGPA of 6.5 and above, and along with other parameters like participation in achievements in both internal and external events, contribution in areas like placements, SIP, SUPA, etc., and other contributions towards institutional building. So the J. Philip Founder Award of Rupees 30,000 for the best outgoing student in the 2-year PGDM program of the batch goes to, any guesses? I can give you a clue, the student is not here. That's right, it goes to Pammi Sutradhar. She's a student from Nagaland, and she's got only one brother who's terminally ill, and she had booked a flight ticket along with her father. The last minute father had to be admitted in ICU, and therefore she had to cancel her trip. Others should have been here. So big hand for Pammi. So now we will have a group photo of the award winners.
Thank you, sir. The winners can go back to their seats. We would like to take a moment to once again thank the sponsors of the respective awards for partnering with us in recognizing excellence in various areas of management. We thank our sponsors, Temple Steel India, NMAX System, Atma HR Forum, and Hotel Skanda Palace. We would like to thank Professor Suresh Kumar B for his initiative in instituting the Excellence in Marketing Award in memory of the late Professor Labdi Bhandari. And we would like to thank Mr. Matthew Paul Viralil in instituting the Excellence in Operations Award in memory of late Professor M.K. John. We look forward to your continued support for our upcoming batches as well.
May I now request our distinguished chief guest of the day to deliver the convocation address and enlighten our batch of graduates.
Good afternoon. Chairman Mr. P.C. Sriyak, Mr. Anil Philip, Dr. Ravi Veeraraghavan, and other board members, faculty members, parents and family members of the graduating students, and the heroes and heroines of today, the graduating students themselves, and the first year students. It's an absolute honor to be here today on this joyous occasion. And thank you, Dr. Ravi Veeraraghavan, for giving me this, inviting me and giving me this opportunity to be here today amidst all these young and bright minds. It gives me a lot of positive energy. First of all, let me congratulate the graduating students. You must have really burnt a lot of midnight oil. Really? Have you? Okay. You must have also sacrificed a lot, probably some evenings instead of spending those quality times. You would have, spent those times, preparing for exams. And all those efforts are paying off today. And earning this degree from such a prestigious institution is something that you should be really proud of and happy about. I'm also happy for you. And probably you can all pat on your own shoulders for this accomplishment. Put your hands together. And there is another group of people here who are also happier, your teachers and faculty members, professors, for molding you into what you are today and helping you earn this degree today. Please put your hands together for your faculty members as well. And finally, your parents. They are probably the happiest among these lot to see the kids earning this degree today. So please give them a louder applause. Thank you. Today is actually a day of celebration. It's not for long lectures. I promise you I'm not going to make it a long and boring lecture. It's going to be just 3 hours, nothing more than that. I try to reduce it. Of course, I would certainly like to share some brief experiences of mine. I started my career in 1984, so it's been 40 years of career. So I have definitely gone through a lot of ups and downs and a lot of experiences, and it may not be sufficient. I mean, to 3 hours may not be sufficient to pack all these experiences. But then I'll just share 2 thoughts. And if you can remember these 2 and take it away after your graduation ceremony today, that will make my these 20 minutes of time worthwhile. The first one is about embracing changes and adapting to them. I'm sure you would have all heard the story about the frog in the boiling water, right? Because the frog was getting the comfort of the warmth of the water, and then slowly it started boiling and the frog died. So unless you adapt to the situation and respond to the changes in time, we all are going to be extinct. So around 2,500 years ago, a Greek philosopher said, change is the only constant. And somebody else said, it is not Darwin, it was Charles Darwin, who said, it is not the intellectual, the most intellectual species, or it is not the strongest species who survived. It is the ones that could adapt to the changing environment are the ones that survived, like the human beings. So let us learn to adapt ourselves to the changing environment. I'm not sure how many of you have seen this piece. Have you, anyone seen this? Has anyone seen this? Good. At least 1 or 2 have seen. This is called OSP slide, overhead projector slide. And there was a OSP marker with which we used to write by hand, and that is what we used to present. Those days we didn't have computers or PPTs or anything of that sort. This is something that I wrote in 1984. After my training, the first training, I prepared a presentation, and this is something that I prepared at that point in time. Then came the development. This one. We got printers, and then we started printing the OSP slides. And then came slides, small slide projectors. Probably you would have seen in James Bond movies, some villain will be projected, and they'll use some slides of portraits and all this stuff. So slide projectors was the next evolution, and then came PPTs. I don't know how long even these PPTs are going to survive. When during the early 80s, there were a lot of typewriting institute. I don't know how many of you have seen really a typewriter. And there were a lot of institutes teaching shorthands, you know. And I had, when I started my career with Siemens, I had a stenographer. So I used to call Sujata, come, I have something to dictate. And those were the days when you had inbox and an outbox. It was, inbox was not your email inbox. Inbox was a physical inbox where all the mails used to be dropped by the peon, and then you take one by one and then respond to them. So you need to call the stenographer and dictate, and she will take it down in shorthand, and she will type it down, and that is how she used to give it in multiple copies, and first the draft and then the original. It used to be a pain. Now, do we have those jobs? Typewriting institutes are gone. Stenographers are gone. And then came telex. That was another high-tech stuff. We had a telex room, we had a telex operator, and we used to give in bold letters, we used to give the notes that has to be telexed to a particular number, and that used to be sent out. Then came fax machines. That was a very real high-tech stuff. And until recently, we had the fax numbers on our visiting cards. Now even faxes are gone. It's all email. And even these emails are going to go. Like for instance, we all get inundated with hundreds and thousands of emails if you just go for a couple of days business trip or whatever. So we don't have time to go through all those, filter those important versus prioritized, the emails and respond to that. So what happens? I send text messages or WhatsApp messages to my team in the US, who will respond to it quickly. If it's an email, it will go into their thousands of mails in their inbox. So things are changing. We need instant responses. Those days, we used to send out a snail mail and wait probably for a week or 10 days, and it was absolutely normal. Now, you send a mail or send a WhatsApp message in 2 minutes. If you don't get a response, you feel really bad. There's something wrong. That instant gratification. If you post something on Instagram and if you don't get 100 likes in 1 hour, there is something wrong. You feel disappointed, right? So that instant gratification has become the norm. And why I told you all this is the changes that we have seen. I've seen personally in my own career. And this is something that we should prepare ourselves for, the changes and adapting ourselves. When I started my career, I started as a sales engineer. I went through a lot of training and then I started as a sales engineer. And I spent long years, about almost 30 years, 25 years in the sales job. So I had an opportunity to deal with different products, different markets, different customers, and different industries, different geographies, right from, I would have probably, the only continent that I've not been to is Antarctica, which I am planning. And other than Antarctica, all other continents I have traveled to. So I was a Textile Missionary Manufacturers Association member in China. So I used to attend their conferences. I used to have a Chinese secretary to interpret the language because it is all, sounds for me when they speak Mandarin. And in these countries, the food, the culture, our accents and their accents to communicate with those people, everything was a challenge. So unless you adapt, unless I adapted to those situations, it would have been very difficult for me to survive. Like for instance, if you go and speak in the same pace in any other country outside India, at the same pace if you speak, it is not going to be understood. You need to pick and choose the right words. Like for instance, we use certain words and we take it for granted, but those are not the words that is spoken. Even in UK, the British English is transformed, but we are still stuck with the same English that we were taught about 70 years ago. So those words and the accent, unless you speak slowly, word by word, it is not going to be understood. So those changes I had to learn and I had to adapt myself. And food. I had a friend of mine, Indian friend of mine, who used to travel with me to, the Oriental countries like China, Japan, Korea, Taiwan, and such countries, where He used to survive just on chocolates and fruits. And I had to eat, okay, I am not a vegetarian that way, so I used to eat meat, but then in these countries, the food is something really exotic, some crazy stuff. And I still try those things you need to master, otherwise you don't get pork, you don't get a spoon in most of these restaurants. Those are the changes that you need to adapt. And these are just examples. You will have different challenges and different changes. So embrace those challenges, embrace those changes. Otherwise, we will be again extinct, and that's going to come in between us and our success. And the next change that I would like to talk about is even Mr. Anil Philip mentioned about the case study of temples transformation. It is called Exit to Expansion. Dr. Ravi Veeraraghvan is the one who wrote that article or case study, and he has published it in the International Journal of Management. And it is about the transformation that we went through. When I got this job, I had zero bank balance, and we had to pay millions of dollars to steel mills, and a lot of payroll payments were to be made. And from there, we have now reached a situation we are earning millions of dollars by way of interest in our fixed deposit. And we have made millions of dollars of investment for our expansion. So that story is called Exit to Expansion. And those days, we had about 26% attrition. People used to come and go. It was like a tourist spot. A lot of floating population. Now we have zero attrition. People come and they stay with us. They enjoy their stay with us. And as somebody mentioned, we also we have sports events. We have 4 sports teams in our company. And each of us is part of one of those teams. And we have 2 sports melas every year. So there are a lot of engagements that we do in our company, and people enjoy working there and being part of the family. So those are the challenges, those are the changes that we brought in which helped us survive. And even in our own industry, we are getting prepared for the next change. Like, I mean, somebody mentioned about the EV, electric vehicles giving director of a company. In order to be successful being that position, being that director's position, what are the skill sets one has to possess? What knowledge one has to have? And do the competency mapping and do the gap analysis. Where you are and where would you like to be? So do the gap analysis and start working in terms of developing yourself to meet those competency requirements of your goal position, and then you will automatically be successful. Fear of failure is something that prevents us from trying out something new, always, if you need to fear the fear. अगर डरना है तो डर से डरो. The other side of the fear is real bliss. When I did the bungee jumping from the world's highest bungee bridge, which is 216 meters in South Africa, I had an option to just stop and quit. Because when you look down, almost 750 feet, your head starts spinning. But I smiled at the camera and jumped, and it was absolute blissful experience. Flying. It was like flying in the air for quite some time, and then come back up, and then again go down. That was a real blissful experience. So the other side of the fear is always a bliss. Experience it. So the first message is embrace the change and embrace the challenge, and prepare yourself for meeting those challenges. The second one is about health, which is something that we all ignore. When we buy a car, we know how many times it has to be serviced, and the first service, when is it due, in how many kilometers we need to take it back to the service station, and how many filters need to be replaced, and how much of oil, what oil to be changed or topped up. We know all this stuff, and we very religiously do all these things. But when it comes to the machine or the car that we are going to carry right from childhood to death, we don't seem to be carrying so much. So this body needs some rest, and this body is designed to move. When thousands of years ago, when we were cavemen, we used to sleep when the sun sets. When it is dark, we used to go inside the cave, and we used to start sleeping, right? So it used to be about 10 to 11 hours of sleep. And the moment you get up, you start going out for hunting or avoid being hunted by some animals. So again, keep running. So when you are facing a challenge, like an animal comes in front, there were two options, fight or flight, right? So in both these cases, there is a chemical that is produced in the body which is called cortisol. And cortisol makes the liver to pump a lot of sugar, glucogens into the system, which is going to give you that instant energy. Both fight as well as flight need energy. Now what happens, you looking at a computer and seeing an email, you get stressed, and the same cortisol is produced, and the cortisol makes the liver to produce the same sugar, blood sugar, right? This is what it is designed for. So the blood sugar comes into the system, and you don't burn it. If you don't burn it by movement, what happens is your blood sugar level goes up, and that is how people become diabetic, and slowly they develop other lifestyle diseases. So movement is mandatory, sleep is mandatory, and food. How much to eat, and what to eat, and when to eat, and how to eat. All this is important. Don't gulp it. Chew it. Like there is a saying, drink your food and chew your drink. When you say drink your food, it means chew it 30 times, and then the food should get mixed with the saliva, and then you should drink it. And after digestion is done there itself, and it's much easier for the system to digest further. So all these pieces, it's all there in the Google. Check what needs to be done in order to work on your health, which is important. Okay, so I'm coming to the end of my lecture or speech. So when you go out of this college, when you get a job, do what you are passionate about. Don't do something just because, okay, I've got a job, so let me do this. So I don't think you will survive there. You're not going to be successful. You're not going to be contributing anything big there. So do what you are passionate about and have faith in you. 100% faith in you. You are designed to succeed. You are not designed to fail. So you have the faith in you and unleash your potential. And you don't know your potential. You don't know your potential. See, it was already mentioned that I went up Kilimanjaro mountain, and the last summit push, the last event, the last leg of the mountaineering was 36 hours of trekking in gradient like this, around 60 to 70 degree gradient, and minus 20, minus 30 degrees Celsius, and above 19,000 feet. At 19,000 feet, you will have 40% air, or to that extent thin oxygen. So your body should be acclimatized, and the body will be yearning for oxygen. That is when you don't have oxygen there. So all these challenges you need to meet, and 36 hours with just 3 or 4 hours of rest, no sleep, just 3-4 hours of rest. So I could do it. At my age, I could do it. I am 62. My fitness age as per Garmin is 31. So that is what I have done to this body. I have, taken good care of this body. So my fitness age is 31, just half of it. So what I am trying to tell you is, take care of your health and do what you are passionate about. Have faith in you and unleash your potential. Let me just end this speech with some quotes. The only limits to our civilization tomorrow will be our fears and doubts today. The only person that you become is the person that you decide to be. Unleash your potential, forget your fears, then the world will be yours. Wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring speech. It will remain etched in our hearts forever.
I now request Honorable Chairman Mr. P.C. Syriac of Xime Chennai to address the gathering.
The former director and the XLRA director, Father Sebastian, the current officiating director, Dr. Devi, then the member of board of governors, the Shetty, my friend, and Dean, Professor Suresh Kumar, other distinguished guests, members of the faculty, parents, and my dear young men, I want to say the young boys and girls, because you are still boys and girls we see, excepting very few who would have had a few years of experience, professional experience already. Anyway, today, first I think I should congratulate all of you, the children, the students, for having successfully completed the very, I'm saying, grueling course during the last 2 years. Mr. Anil Phillips, the president, mentioned in the beginning how you were kept on your toes all the time with all the assignments, homeworks, presentations, case studies, and whatnot. So you have gone through all this successfully and come back with colors flying. So first, congratulations to you. Secondly, I must congratulate the staff members, the members of the faculty, from the director downwards, everyone, who worked hard with a lot of commitment and perseverance, and they inspired you, spurred you into activity, made you the successful people that you are today. So let me congratulate them. And thirdly, I must congratulate the parents who have been supporting you all along. In fact, in the West, in the Western world, after you reach your school career, the parents let you loose. You go away or do what you want. Find your own resources. With the result, they are stunted. The potential is limited. Whereas here, in our culture, the parents still keep a warm bed for you in the evening, still look after you, still finance your further studies, including PhD and things like that. So we have to be thankful to them, and let me congratulate all of them, the proud parents who have come to see the awards being bestowed, being presented with the diploma. Then, as far as we are all looking forward to placements, generally we in Chennai used to take pride that on the convocation day, all the people have been presented, all the people have been placed. But today, unfortunately, we have placed only about 86% of the people. A few people remain to be placed, few of the students. Don't worry, this has happened because this is a year of depression. We have seen reports in the newspapers about even the premier organization, IIM Ahmedabad. They say the students are not placed. Even the IITs find it difficult to place them. So generally, atmosphere in the country is a very serious condition today. India's unemployment rate among the youth stands at 45%. And out of this 45%, about 60% is the educated unemployed. The government doesn't accept this reality and they paint bright pictures, pleasant pictures like the GDP growth, India is the fastest growing country and things like that. The bottom, unfortunately, there is total chaos, confusion, people are not having enough money, prices are going up. In this situation, maybe we are also justified and we are also excused. Here, people can excuse us for not being able to place 100% of the people by the convocation. But I request you now, before you leave the organization, maybe during the next few days, try to get your placement somewhere or the other, even if the salary levels are a little less than expected. So the atmosphere outside is not too good. It's better to be in and then work your way up. After all, the first job is not going to be the last job, except in very few cases. I know some people who joined as a management trainee, you end up as the chairman and MD. I remember my predecessor, he was chairman of Xime Chennai, Mr. Muthuraman. He was once telling me, after his IIT in Madras, BTech, he joined the Tata Dynasty, Tisco, as a management trainee. He rose up there, he continued there, he became the managing director and retired. Chairman he could not get because it is part of the Tata brothers in that group. So that page is a very rare exception. Otherwise, first job doesn't matter. You take the first job, test the waters, as the chief guest mentioned. As I think your father mentioned, Father Sebastian mentioned, to be bold. Take the first one, get into the waters, then you move ahead, let the flow take you, and then meanwhile think about what you are interested in, what is your passion, manage to get into that also. So anyway, don't feel bad about not getting placed. If a few people, 5 or 6 people are yet to be placed, don't feel bad. You should try to get in somewhere. Wish you all the best very soon. Then another thing, today I don't want to make a big speech exhorting all of you to work hard for the country and things like that. You all know that. But we know that the energy and the spirit of adventure and the ideas and aspirations of the youth of India, that is what should drive our progress. So in spite of the general political atmosphere, in spite of various other disappointments you may encounter, don't feel pulled down by all such feelings. Rise above them, be hopeful, be confident. This organization has taught you to be self-confident. That is what Mr. Anil Philip, the president, also mentioned in the beginning. By your presentations, by your speeches, by your participation in the debates, you get a chance to express yourself, maybe to rid yourself of the stage fright. So that way, I think you have become confident by now already. Then your studies are not over. That is another point I wanted to mention. You should not think that I have completed my studies. Now I am going to embark on my career and earn money. But if you want to succeed in your career, you have to keep learning. Learning from the job, learning from your fellow workmen, learning from the people below, learning from the people above, learning from the customers, from everywhere. You have to go to learn things. See things which can be copied within your own life. See some practices which can be adopted by you. So nobody should be considered as, oh, he's too bad, too poor, too lowly placed for me to be got inspired by. So we have to be humble in our approach. At the same time, see everything and learn as you. In fact, when you are saying learn as you study, I am reminded of again Father Sebastian's initiative, which he took when he was the director here. And a mention was made here already about the live projects. Half the days, juniors are sent out to the industry and they are able to see the practical problems. The people there, the managers, the workmen, they are all encountering the practical problems. How they can be solved. Perhaps your common sense, you are not an expert in that field. You are not experienced in that particular work. but you approach the problem with a fresh mind, you may be able to come out with something innovative, a new solution which they might not have thought about. So that way, you are introduced to the work culture in the factories, etc. At the same time, your own innovative spirit has got a chance to blossom out and come out with something. So the make use of vocations like that. These live projects can turn into summer placement, which in turn can generate placements ultimately. So if they live projects, you are somebody who is taking serious view and give out some innovative ideas, they will invite you to participate to go through your summer project and remunerate you also. If there also, if they find that you are a sincere fellow who is willing to apply your mind on the problem, they will offer you a placement at a attractive salary and perks. So like that, take every opportunity. People may not take life projects seriously. Take it seriously. Take everything seriously and sincerely, so that all these things will help you as you go along in your career. Then at another point, we are in an area of era of explosive growth. New developments are taking place every day. Artificial intelligence is making the life totally unpredictable. You do not know how things are going to shape up with artificial intelligence during the next few years. I am 50,000 years ago, man was still on his four legs like an animal, like the monkeys. 50,000 years ago, he rose up and stood in awe and wonder, looked at the horizon. Thereafter, all this progress happened. In fact, in the book Future Shock, Alvin Toffler has mentioned that the changes, the progress, the revolutionary changes, they happened during the last 50 years is equal to whatever happened in the last 10,000 years or maybe more. So things are changing fast. In this changing fast, in this era when we are thinking about landing in the moon, taking space travel as a tourist attraction, and also move around in driverless cars. A friend of mine who was in California 2 weeks ago, he was saying that he was moving around in a taxi, nice car. Only difference is that it was without a driver. So that is all becoming commonplace everywhere. So things are changing. So we should also, as the chief guest mentioned, try to move with the change, adapt the changes, see the changes, accept them, and try to make the best use of all of them. Then, as you know, management is the key, which is producing wealth and which is resulting in the use of all the resources in a most efficient fashion and producing results, earning money, etc. And you are going to be trained managers, experts in that field. So naturally, you have to learn how to present your proposals, how to take decisions. Speaking about taking decisions and implementing projects, I am reminded of a story now. One of our some of our industry minister, an industry minister was visiting Korea. Korea is a country, one of those East Asian wonders, a very small country, but they have grown up miraculously during the last 4 or 5 decades. And our Indian minister was calling the minister in Korea to see how exactly they are doing, to learn from their experience and try to copy it here. So he was congratulating the Korean minister on their achievements. Then he was behind the minister's table, office table. Behind that there was a shelf containing many files and documents, many proposals, many files and things like that. So he went and searched some of them, looked at some of them. Then he was amazed. He said, "What is this? These are all our project proposals. These are all the projects which we wanted to implement. We drew up in our country for implementation." Then the Korean minister said, yes, very much, these are your dreams only. But you drew them up and kept silent. We implemented them. That was the Korean minister. It is our schemes. Our people, our leaders, we are all promising the packages and promises and guarantees. Like Modi's guarantee, Congress guarantee, all sorts of guarantees are being given. But how much is implemented? See the guarantees already given, how they were done. So instead of simply projecting promises, our leaders, our party, our managers, I would not say leaders, our managers, they should implement, they should be experts in implementing projects. The biggest disadvantage for India is our failure to implement the projects in time. When you fail to implement something in time, the cost also is more. You get, you lose everything. So Sethu Madhavan is a successful man today because he implemented his projects on time. Within the time indicated, he saw that the work is finished. Result is produced. So as managers, we have to rely with, though you may not be a senior manager, but whatever is the position, be sincere and make sure that the thing is done. The task entrusted with you is finished, completed in time, in good quality and good time, within the cost estimate originally envisaged. So this approach, if you can take in your life, as I mentioned, implementation is the key. Then again, another point I wanted to mention is to make you as an effective and successful manager, one of the most important criteria is an effective communication skills. That is most crucial. The ability to articulate ideas with data and visuals is important. I'm sure many of you would have gone through various presentations, etc., and many of you must have been adept in this, skillful in this. But if anybody in your group has lagged behind in this, dependent on the other friends in the group, then I would recommend you concentrate on that. Get communication skills updated. Communication skills include the facility of using the language. Whatever is in your mind, you should be able to project, communicate effectively, convincingly, logically giving up all the facts before the audience. So like that, if you can improve your communication skills, the ability to articulate ideas, the ability to present the ideas with data, infographics, and slideshows, that itself will make you a successful manager, especially at your level. Your managers who are on the other side of 50, senior people, they will be thrilled to have an assistant like you if you are adept in all these skills, including communication, vision, etc. So, I don't want to take a long time. Develop expertise in some area. As the Chief just mentioned, he wanted passion, he wanted you to be passionate in the work you do. I would add another word, you should enjoy the work you do. Only if you enjoy the work you do, you will be passionate about it. Then you will say, ultimately, I am getting the salary for doing something that I enjoy. Not that, oh, hard, strenuous work, I am slogging. That is not the feeling. I am doing something I enjoy. I am happy about doing this. With that feeling, if you work, you will be successful. Choose a niche, be an expert in that. However narrow the niche is, be an expert. So these are I am not saying these are wise words, but these are some of the practical ideas which I feel. I have been also a practicing manager. Though in the government sector, I have had a lot of experience in the public sector, bringing around sick industries, taking up new projects and finishing them on time, completing expansion projects, things like that. So from the light of all this experience, I am saying many of you, you can all succeed as great managers if you think about some of these points which I mentioned today. I don't want to take more time. I think we are spot on time. 1 o'clock was the time indicated for finishing the convocation. So I am happy that I am finishing it by 1 o'clock. So wish you all the best. Wish the parents also all happiness. They can see the satisfaction. They can see with satisfaction the growth and development of their children. And the teachers, they also will be proud and happy to see that their wards study well, come up well in life, occupy various serious positions, senior positions, responsible positions. And as mentioned by the director and the dean and others, it is necessary to continue the relationship. This is an umbilical cord relationship actually. This should continue on a two-way process. instead of a one-way process, you're just there during your life, 10 months or 9 months in the womb. Anyway, wish you all the best. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir, for your thought-provoking address. May I request Mr. Anil J. Philip, President Xime Society, to present the memento to our chief guest. Thank you, sir. I now request Mr. Zidan Musa, an outgoing student of Batch 6, to give his impressions and propose the vote of thanks on behalf of the graduating batch.
So, good morning, esteemed chief guest, president, director, dean, faculty members, proud parents, distinguished guests, and my fellow graduates. So, as I stand before you today, I am filled with an overwhelming sense of gratitude and pride. So, when I stepped onto the grounds of Xime, I had my doubts. The idea of a residential campus seemed daunting, and I questioned whether I would be able to thrive in such an environment. It was during this uncertain time that I sought guidance from our esteemed director, Dr. His wisdom and unwavering support were like beacons in moments of doubt, giving me the courage to persevere. So during my time at Xime, I served as the placement committee coordinator, event head of the HR club, and PR head of the marketing club. However, coordinating Prometheus was the most transformative experience, teaching me essential skills in time management, budgeting, negotiation, and teamwork. Prometheus not only united our community, but also significantly boosted my self-assurance. So one of the most unique and enriching aspects of my journey at Xime was the diversity of people I encountered. The vibrant cultures, background, and perspectives not only broadened my horizons, but also fostered an environment of inclusivity and understanding. So learning from individuals with different life experience and viewpoints challenged me to think critically and empathetically, ultimately shaping me into a more well-rounded individual. But one of the most fulfilling experiences during my Xime was serving as the placement committee coordinator. The joy of witnessing my fellow classmates securing promising career opportunities was unparalleled. These moments not only reaffirmed the importance of our education, but also served as a reminder of the incredible bonds we have formed within the community. Yeah, so now it's time for me to thank the faculties. So throughout my journey at Xime, our dean, Professor Suresh sir, infectious, I think a round of applause for him. So our dean, Professor Suresh sir, infectious energy and motivation propelled us forward, inspiring us to achieve our objectives. His word of encouragement resonated deeply with us, reminding us of the limitless potential we possess. Always I used to remember one thing. I think the team remember Vikram or Nitya or anyone, when we sit in the dean's office, if the Prometheus is tomorrow, if any event is tomorrow, we don't know why he calls us and make us sit there for at least 8 or 9 hours that day, where we have a lot of works. But now I understood, because that's why I think we are here, because that made a big difference in us. And then there is our Matthew sir, our batch coordinator, whose wealth of experience made our life smoother. He was not just a coordinator, but a mentor we could turn to for guidance at any hour. Jojo sir, with his entrepreneurial experience, not only imparted valuable knowledge, but also created a safe space where we could share our ideas and aspirations freely. His mentorship was instrumental in shaping our entrepreneurial mindset. One more thing to add on that, always I think, why do we study the theory like consumer perception map or any kind of theories like that? But it really helped me in making a presentation for a company and getting an internship there. So thanks to Jojo sir for making us realize that theories are really, really important. And who could forget Kritika ma'am, who treated us like a own child. Her unwavering support and motivation were like a steady hand guiding us through the ups and downs of our academic journey. Kshetrajna sir, I know what is he known for. Kshetrajna sir, a repository of technological knowledge, enriched our understanding and enhanced our technical prowess. But yeah, I couldn't work with him that much because my technical skills are a bit low. But his dedication to imparting knowledge was truly commendable. And then there is our own Rajarajan sir. Yeah, this is it for you, I guess. The man who built us from the day one. His guidance and support were instrumental in helping us navigate the complexities of our academic and professional lives. He instilled in us a sense of organization and discipline that will serve as well in the future. And he always told that after graduation, we can call him Raja. So let us also recognize the contribution of Madhavan sir, whose forward-thinking approach encouraged us to think about the future and strive for excellence in all our endeavors. And then our Chandrasekharan sir. I don't have anything to say about him, but this is it for him. And then NC Rajalakshmi ma'am. I always, whenever I see her, it's like the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Jaya. And then Shubha ma'am, of course, and then Kishore sir. Everyone played pivotal roles in shaping our academic and personal growth. So thank you once again. So as we stand on the brink of a new chapter in our lives, let us carry forward the lessons we have learned, the friendship we have forged, and the memories we have created. Let us approach the future with confidence, knowing that we have been occupied with the skills and knowledge to overcome any challenge that comes our way. To my fellow graduates, I say this: let us go forth from this place and make our mark in the world. Let us strive for excellence in all that we do and never forget the journey that brought us to this moment. So thank you, Xime and Professor J. Philip, for shaping us into the individuals that we are today. So this will be the last time I'll be saying, I, Zidan Musa, signing off from Xime Chennai.
Thank you, Mr. Zidan. You spoke from your heart, impressing all the graduates.
I now request Honorable Chairman, Mr. P.C. Syriac, to close the proceedings.
I declare the 6th convocation of Xime Chennai closed. Thank you.
May I request the gathering to rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे, तव शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तव जय गाथा। जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for being with us, and we request all of you to join us for lunch in the canteen in the ground floor. And the graduates are requested to assemble for a group photo before lunch in the amphitheater.
I request the audience to remain standing till the convocation procession leaves the hall. Thank you.
Batch 7 students, now you can exit from the auditorium. Thank you for being a lovely audience.